started with this end of year review. I'm so excited to be back on YouTube, you guys. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lamide, and in today's video, we are going to be doing a 2023 review and a look forward into some of the goals that I'm going to be setting in 2024. I'm going to do it in a way that you guys can also participate in this with me. So I'm going to be using the digital life planner as I have been using since 2021, and we also have a new version out. So if you are a previous existing user of the digital life planner, you already have this version. Just check your emails if you haven't seen it. If you want to purchase it, it's in the link down below. And we also have a free reflection template as well. I'll put the link in the description so you can do that with us. But if you don't have it and you like to use pen and paper, I'll also show it on the screen so you can also complete your reflection as well. The first thing I'm going to do is quickly just duplicate this template into my personal Notion. Just going to let that load up. You guys are getting an insight into what my year has been like, but I also want an insight into how 2023 has been for you guys and maybe some of the things that you're looking forward to for 2024. So I'm actually going to quickly change this to my new planner so I don't get it mixed up. So we're going to call it Lamide's Mastermind. And also I actually did my vision board via Canva already, and I want to change that to my cover photo. Oh, okay, so this is looking good already. I'm actually going to change from word of the year to phrase of the year, because this year I have a phrase that I think really speaks to what 2024 is going to be about. And so I'm going to go ahead and go into 2023 and complete my reflection. One thing I love about this is I can see all of my previous reviews for all of my previous years. So I'll quickly just go into my last year's one. So this was my planner for last year and the previous years, and you can see the reflection I did for 2021, the reflection I did for 2022 as well, and the reflection I did for Q1 2023. I actually did that as a video. And this is the thing I love about digital planning, is that you can literally just see all of that. So if I open this up, you guys can see I gave myself a rating of 4 out of 5 for 2021. And then for 2022, I gave myself 4.4 out of 5. So you can do an entire reflection on the year, but you can also do it on a breakdown per each life area, which is what I'm going to do today. So I'm going to add a life area. Let's start with careers. First section of this review is thinking about where I am now with my career. What were my major achievements and highlights, and what activities or aspects of this life area excite and energize me? So let's start with major achievements and highlights. When I'm thinking about my career, I guess I'm kind of thinking about 3 major buckets, which is my corporate career, my social media career, and then pen as well as its own separate thing. So major highlights and achievements, I will say, I think I've really enjoyed this year working in a new region. So if you guys don't know, I moved from London to Dubai in January 2023, and I joined another investment bank out here. And so I went from working at one of the major headquarters for finance, which is London, and then moved to Dubai, which is not really any major hub for finance or even for corporate in general. It is up and coming. And so that was really interesting, because I would say that the highlights was that I was exposed to a new region, new clients. I also, in London, I covered in my first year and a half plus my internship, I covered corporate clients. If you're not into corporate finance, this is probably not going to be of any interest to you, but in case, I started my channel talking about banking, so for those of you who might be interested, I'll just relay it. So I started my first year and a half plus my internship working on TMT, which is technology, media and telecommunications, which is one of the most sought after areas on the corporate side, at least at the bank that I was at. That was really fun. That was really, really good. Then my second rotation was in fintechs and broker dealers, which was hybrid corporate and financial institutions. But the products were more corporate aligned. So I did that when I was at JP Morgan in London, and then moving to Dubai, I then covered financial institutions and governments, which is my first time covering both of those. So it's completely I would say kind of a completely new skill set in some ways, and a new knowledge set. So it was lots of learning in my first couple of months. And I really do feel like now I have the full breadth overview from a credit finance standpoint of all the institutions that we typically cover in the investment bank. Even though there are more nuanced teams, like let's say like project finance and stuff like that, but I think in terms of the major places, I'm very well-rounded now in terms of like the clients that I know and I'm able to analyze. So that's definitely a highlight. And I think just being in a new jurisdiction, covering the Middle East, not just the Middle East though, but like Middle East and Middle East adjacent countries have been really, really good. And one thing that I'd also say as well, which is not that relevant, but my geography is not the best. Okay, it's really not the best. I'm definitely a history babe, but I think coming out to this side of the world has really broadened up my geography and my knowledge of the world. Second thing definitely has to be establishing PEN. So for those of you who do not know what PEN is, it stands for the Professional Network, and it is a business that me and my friend here, Dr. Sheen, established to basically connect expats and women who are working, living in Dubai and other adjacent Emirates in the UAE, basically, to come together in person. But one thing that is quite unique to Dubai is that a lot of people come here on their own. The majority of the population is actually in their 30s and 40s, and then probably their 20s. Majority of people are like young adults, and a lot of people come here on their own, or people might just come here with like their partner and their child, but people really do feel alone when they come here. And so the idea of PEN is to just bring all of these women together to just network with each other, but then also just hear from like amazing speakers. So we have networking events, but we also have masterclasses. We actually have a masterclass coming up in the new year, which I'm so excited for. I'm going to be speaking as well. I'll put the 2 posters related to that on the screen. And another reason why we started PEN as well is because one of the things that I realized soon into being here is there's definitely a perception of young women that come to Dubai, and it's very ludicrous to say the least. You know what? I actually really want to do a video on like an update video of like life in Dubai, and maybe like a Q&A. So if you have questions, please leave them about like moving to a new country in your 20s, or when you're younger by yourself, moving to Dubai. Any of those sort of questions, leave them in the comments, and if I have enough, I'll definitely do a video like that, because I definitely have updated opinions from the video that I did earlier on in the year with Sheen. Like, I know a lot more now, but yeah, so there's definitely a perception of women here that the perception isn't very good. I just don't think there's enough representation for women who are here and who are working, who are building their businesses and stuff. And so that's what PEN is for, and we are going to expand into new heights in 2024. So I'm super proud about that. And this event, it was called the Speak Up event. When I tell you people were crying, I was almost like, did I cry? My eyes were like watering up, but I didn't actually cry. My friend Hayley Melenda, who is like international speaker, change agent, all the things, she flew in from London to host the masterclass, and it was so good. And then we also had a panelist of women as well, and one of the amazing panelists that were there is going to be spearheading our next event. And for social media side of things, I think I have tried out like new forms of content this year, and I think that has been fun, just exploring like different things that I could do. I haven't been able to be as consistent with certain things as I've wanted to. We're gonna get into that actually on the other side. So yeah, a highlight is having tried out new forms of content. An achievement, I also started on TikTok properly and was able to grow to 25k followers, and I think in like 3 or 4 months, I don't remember, but it was, I think it maybe like 3 months. I haven't posted properly in a while. As I was kind of alluding to on the negative / what could be improved sides, I would say that with social media, I haven't been as consistent this year. I'm sure you guys would have noticed, and that was because I just kept adding things to my plate, and I was like, yeah, I think I reached a point where I was like, there's no way I can keep juggling everything. Like I already had a lot of things going on, right? On top of like moving to a new country, then I added PEN, and then I added TikTok, and then it was just too much. YouTube as well, it was just like, oh, there's no way, because YouTube is so time consuming in comparison to all the other things that I do. Honestly, it takes so much time to get ready for YouTube, edit, record. But even though YouTube is a thing that I love, I just didn't have time for it, and so I had to let that go. And even still, yeah, like in general, I was juggling way too much. Like this year I've been juggling way too much. Other things that I'm gonna go in and add, I don't wanna spend too much time in this because this video is already long and I'm only on the first life area. But then also there are some things that I'd rather just do offline. So I think I'd put that in there for now, and I have 1 or 2 other things that I wanna add. So next question is, what lessons have you learned in this life area? I'm gonna say, major thing for this life area. There is no point moving full speed in the wrong direction. So even though I slowed down a little bit on social media this year and I haven't shown as much this year, I am not mad at it because like I've spoken about in the quarter life crisis video. If you haven't watched it, definitely go watch it. I did not have clarity on my direction this year. Like, it's a bit, not a bit, should I do this, should I do that? I didn't really know, and I actually am happy that I didn't go full speed not knowing where I was heading, because you're better off I feel like I'm better off taking my time and slowly moving through things than going full speed in the wrong direction and then afterwards figuring out like, oh my God, I am so far away from where I should have been going. Because even if you steer this bit off track, if you go full speed, by the end of it, the gap between where you're supposed to be going and where you are is huge. So I'm uncertain on this front. Let's slow down and let's just focus on the things that I am certain about and get those things done. So that is a major lesson that I learned in this life area. Let's quickly move on to where you want to be. Ooh. I love these questions so much because they really get you to think. This question, which is, what do you desire or value most in this area? And then it's what I want and what I don't want. And the reason why we put this in is because some people are better articulating. Sometimes some of us, depending on the situation that we are in, we can be better at articulating where we don't want to be than articulating where we do want to be. One thing that I really do want is I want to be able to say, I can't believe I get paid to do this. Honestly, I think this is like so key for me. I've seen a few people say this, like, you know, like when I'm watching interviews and stuff, and I love that. Like, you can also do here is actually drill down into the answers that you put. So I'm actually gonna give this, I'd like to give it a 3.5 for career. But then it was also good. I'd give it a 3.5. There's no option for 3.5, so, but then you should round it up to 4. I'm gonna give it a 3. I'll give it a 3. Okay, next life area. Let's do relationship. So when I think about this life area, I think 3 different things. I think about relationship with God, relationship with family and friends, and then romantic relationship. As you guys may already know, I don't really talk too much about the relationships in my life in depth on my YouTube channel because honestly, I don't think it's relevant to the content that I produce. It's important as well as a creator to have certain parts of your life that you keep as private and you keep as your own. So we'll just go over this really quickly. So one major highlight I would say is finding a church that I liked. So I was actually introduced to this church by Lavish Ruby, you guys. Can you imagine? She doesn't even live here. And she was the one who told me about this church, and I've been going and it's really good. And so also if you are in Dubai as well and you're looking for a church, fellowship, really good church. So I'm really happy about that. Number 2, I kept all of my relationships for the most part. Like moving across the world, I think a lot of the things that we fear is that our relationships will start to break down with people, or that, you know, yeah, you might lose touch with people, and I haven't. All of my friends that, like, nothing has changed really. I don't even think I've necessarily seen them less, because every time I do go back to the UK, then I have to make it a point to see everyone. I actually got back from the UK yesterday, so I know I said I wasn't going to go back for Christmas, but I actually ended up going back because my brothers were guilt tripping me. So I went back from I got to London 24th. It might as well have been the 25th, like at midnight. I got my flight on the 24th, landed around, got home around midnight-ish, then spent Christmas, Boxing Day, the 27th, and then left in the evening of the 28th. And also I've made the most amazing friends here in Dubai. And they have made it so easy for me to feel at home here. Not gonna go into a romantic relationship, you're not gonna do a review of that on the internet, but I think what's so funny is the other day someone left a comment and it was like, a guy, or at least it looked like it was a guy from the profile picture. And it was something along the lines of like, oh, you would be happy if you were in a relationship and had some kids. Have you thought about that yet? And it's just like, and I've seen a thread of like similar comments like that where usually men, but I know that women do it too, not to me, but I've seen other women do it to other women, where they, especially when it's a woman who is like a goal-getter or ambitious, they try to throw, because it seems like we may have lots of things, they will try and like maybe throw the needle where they think it might hurt, and they will go to relationships first and be like, well, because the assumption is that because you are so career driven or goal orientated that you are likely going to be single, especially if you don't bring your relationship to the forefront of your social media, right? And one, I think it's just pathetic, because just because I haven't spoken about something doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And if you are a long-time supporter of mine, and if you follow like me on Instagram and whatever, you would know that I am in a relationship. I did delete the comment though, so you guys won't find it. And the reason that I deleted it is because I think those comments can be quite harmful for other women who maybe are ambitious and whatever, and see comments like that, and who are single, and who might think that it is because of their ambition that they are single. One of the things I always say, and I will say it over and over and over again, you guys have to get off the internet and get into real life, because in my real life of people who I actually know, I have many examples of women who are ambitious and who are goal driven and who are go-getters, who are in relationships, who are married. This year, I went to 2 weddings. The first wedding was my friend Chidi, who I met here. She got married. She is major goal-getter, millionaire, all the things that you can think of. She got married this year. My brother got married. His girlfriend, wow. My sister-in-law, his wife, she is also a super go-getter, right? I'm talking same things like A's and A stars through school, went to the University of Warwick, did the whole corporate life thing, working at the Big Four, whatever, and also got married this year. I also met with someone in London, a friend of mine, because I was telling her about this comment and she was like, oh, well, you do appear to be a single woman. I was like, okay, that's interesting. Fair enough, I get that, because if you don't state something on the internet, then you leave it down for people to interpret. Major lesson, you attract by becoming. I tell you, if you want to attract certain people, certain relationships, certain whatever it is that you want to attract, especially in other people, if you become that person, those type of people will be attracted to you anyways. And the most value that you can add to other people is by being as you as possible, and not thinking, oh, like, I'm just this, what do I have to offer? Or I'm not at this level, what do I have to offer? The offer that you have is by being yourself and being as you as possible. Relationship with yourself. Ooh, guys, oh my God. The way this eye is running is so annoying. Your relationship with yourself will impact your relationship with other people. Let's rate the life area. I'm gonna give this life area a 4. I'm gonna give this life area a 4. I feel like because I've been so busy with work this year, it wasn't a 5. Major achievement and highlight for this area, I'm gonna start with my property in South Africa was completed the property this year, and yeah, got an interior designer to design things for me, and then handed it over to a property manager, and that is now a short-term letting property or an Airbnb. I know you guys have asked for like an update in general on that property or invested in South Africa. Next year, a huge update, a huge update. So, and I think next year as well, because there are parts of me investing there that I haven't shared yet because the time hasn't come. And I'm definitely someone who, I like things to happen first and then speak about it. So next year, that should all be done. I am officially earning in 3 different currencies. And it's so crazy. Like, it dawned on me this year when I was going through issues of like trying to figure out what to do with all of these currencies, and should I use like Wise, which is like a They actually used to be one of my clients, but they're like a fintech that you can hold wallets in different currencies. Anyways, I was trying to figure out like what to do and what currencies to be paid in and what bank accounts to use and how to make sure that I'm getting the best when it comes to exchange rates and blah, 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 blah. And then it dawned on me, oh my God, I'm literally earning in 3 different currencies. So AED, GBP, and Rand. So that was a major highlight and achievement of this year. Also say new net worth milestone. We're trying to work on a potential partnership with this company, but what it allows you to do is to centralize all of your assets and oh my God. So I'll put some screenshots on the screen. So I basically get to track my net worth performance, which is really good. But then there's also a section which I think I might be able to show you where I'm able to see, I can basically see all the different assets that I'm invested into, and I can see how many. I don't know why it says 4 countries. I don't know why it says 4. It should be like 3. It should be 3 countries. Should it be 4 countries? Should be 3 countries. I don't know why it says 4, but I can see my asset types, breakdown by asset types, the countries that it's in. And there's another section where you can actually see currencies as well. I have everything centralized. I'm talking my pensions, my cash accounts, my property, my investments in businesses, my different bank accounts. You could all link it into this one app. So good. So yeah, something that could definitely be improved. I need to track my income more. This is helpful from this app is helpful from like a general perspective, but on a individual line item stream of income, how much I'm earning per month, I need that breakdown. The app that it wasn't app, it was like a Google sheet that I tried using before. It's too in-depth, it's too complicated. So I really need to find something for next year. Oh, one lesson that I've learned in this life area is that the best financial decision, I think I've mentioned this before as well, isn't always the best money decision. And what I mean by that is there can be financial decisions or financial investments, let's say for example, that on paper, this is the best investment. This gets you the best return for your money. This has the best capital accumulation. This has the highest ROI, and all of that can make sense financially as to why you should choose this investment. But there can be another investment that may not add up the same way financially, but monetary wise, in terms of use of your money and for your goals from my money perspective, makes so much more sense. And that is something that has really come together for me this year, where I'm like, you know what, this has probably been one of the best decisions that I have made, even though if someone from the outside was looking in and just considering things from a finance perspective, or how much money you're getting back, or what's the ROI, blah, 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 it might not have made sense. But for me, from my personal money goals, it makes so much sense. So that's one thing I've learned. Another lesson, this is not a lesson to share with you guys, but I think I have really learned this year a lot more about currency arbitrage, interest rates. That comes from work as well, because with financial institutions, especially in this kind of regions, like currencies and their depreciation and interest rates, all of that, like I can really see the effects of it. And then also as someone who is earning in different currencies and has investments in countries, let's say where their currency is depreciating, I've really been able to learn on a different scale and have a different level of understanding of how those things work and what it means and how you can take advantage of that. I'm gonna give it a 3, because I don't feel like I have been as the tracking for me is really something that 3 or 4, keep that as a 3. So anyways, let's move on back into health. Major achievements highlight in this section, guys. I have been to the gym 51 weeks out of 52 weeks this year. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? You guys know I'm always showing you this app. So literally I started last year, December, and look, every single week this year, besides one, okay, so this is the 1 week right here, this 20th to the 26th of February, where I didn't go to the gym. And I don't know what the reason for was that week. Something would have happened that week. I think that was the week I moved into this apartment or something like that. Something would have happened why I didn't go. But every other stinking week in this 2023, I went to the gym. That is despite having period pains, despite being tired, despite being overworked, despite not being in the mood. All the things that could happen, I still went, and I'm so proud of myself. Like even this week, this was my first day going this week, because I was in London, and Usually if I go somewhere, I might just work out outside, like bring my skipping rope, but oh, it was too cold, honey. But I made sure that I went today, and I'm gonna go tomorrow as well. Yeah, I've done 181. I've done 181 workouts since I started this app last December. Negatives is usually I do a health checkup every single year, like a full body MOT. I haven't done that this year, so I'm gonna add that as one of my goals. I'm gonna give the area of health a 4 out of 5. So the planner will give you 4 main areas for your life, but you can also add additional life areas. So I'm gonna add one, and that is lifestyle. That's gonna be for travel and things. 2023, I would say that 2022, I did so good with traveling. I think I traveled like 7 different times. But this year, I guess, like a lot of the time anyways, people were coming to me, like I was their travel destination, and because I was new to Dubai, I didn't really mind, so I don't think I traveled as much. I only went to Lake Como for my friend's wedding, I went to Portugal for my brother's wedding, and then I went to Thailand with a girls trip, so not as much traveling as I would like, but then I'm also in a new region. I've been to Abu Dhabi this year as well, but next year that is definitely something that I want to take to the next level. So when it comes to lifestyle, I'll give this year and I explored Dubai a lot. I'm gonna give it a 4. Every single month for at least the first 6 months of the year, something major is happening next year in 2024. So I can't wait to bring you guys on that journey, and I will bring you guys on that journey. Just, you know, wait, it's coming. So as they happen, and after they happen, I will loop you guys in. So stay tuned. 2024 is going to be an amazing year. And I hope that it's going to be an amazing year for you guys as well. I have released at least 2, 3, maybe even 4 goals videos. If not, they are coming out to make sure that not only I have a good year, but that you guys can also have a good year as well. And cheers to the new year and to a better 2024. Even if your 2023 was amazing, maybe you even rated yourself a 5 out of 5, 2024 is going to be even better. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.